don't feel that I've got a second chance. I feel that every morning I get up is a new chance, every single morning.
There was a time when Paul wondered if he would ever be able to run through the woods again, see the sunrise, and enjoy the beauty of Ireland.
Life is incredibly precious, and I don't think we realize just how precious it is until we're faced with the prospect of possibly losing it. A suicide car bomber drove into our convoy, aimed for the middle vehicle, which just happened to be the one that I was in, and blew us up.
That brush with death came while Paul was working a dangerous job in Iraq.
Beginning of 2004, I went out to Iraq. I was based in Baghdad, and my duties were to bodyguard for mostly American and British diplomats. So on November 17th, I was being driven from the Green Zone out to the airport in a convoy. The initial impact, which was like just getting hit by a sledgehammer. And there was a huge fireball actually on the inside of the vehicle, and I could feel my skin and hair starting to burn. I was busted up pretty badly. I didn't realize just to what extent. My whole right side was useless, and I was trapped in the vehicle. That was when the realization really sort of dawned on me that, you know, this could be it. But there was almost a sense of peace as well, that I felt that I'd lived a good life, I'd loved well, and the people that I really cared about knew how much I cared about them, and if it was going to end, then that was okay.
Paul was seconds away from death when he managed to free himself from the burning vehicle.
Eventually we managed to get back to the military hospital within the Green Zone, and once we were stabilized, I was in ICU and flown out to Germany. My hip and pelvis was in 6 pieces, my leg was all busted up, my arm was half dislocated, my ribs had been damaged.
Paul finally went home to Ireland in a wheelchair. Doctors didn't know if he would ever walk again.
When I saw Paul, I was shocked. I knew what his injuries were, but it was very upsetting to see somebody that you love dearly in so much pain.
Recovery was pretty tough on a lot of people, not just on me. And it wasn't even just the physical aspect of it, but it was a whole mental trip as well, because we didn't actually know if I'd be able to walk again. I was actually seeing the fear and questions in my children's faces that I just didn't have the answers to.
Paul's wife of 20 years, Niamh, is a nurse, and she gave him the best possible care. The couple put on a brave face for their 2 daughters, but their youngest, Hannah, revealed her deepest fears.
She asked, is my daddy ever going to get better? Is he ever going to be able to walk and to put me on his shoulders again? It was very tough for us all as a family. He was a changed person. He was different, and it was, I wondered, was he ever going to be the person that he was before?
It was a huge worry not knowing whether or not I was actually going to be able to walk again. I distinctly remember the day that I actually made a decision to just turn things around. I was still in a wheelchair and I was pulled up to the kitchen table, and I distinctly just remember saying to myself, you know, I'm just not going to be a victim of this anymore. I'm taking personal responsibility, I'm taking back the control that I feel that I've lost, and I'm actually going to make a change here. One of the things I decided to do was actually getting physically stronger again, and the best way I felt to do that was by following Bill's program.
With Niamh by his side, this courageous Irishman pushed himself hard.
And as soon as I told her, she got very excited about the whole thing. I said, okay, I'll do that program with you. And that was just a huge bonus for both of us at the end of the day, because it meant that we could work out together, we could keep each other accountable, and actually started looking forward to what we could do, what changes we could affect. It was really, really tough, but it increased my confidence in what I could achieve, what I could do. Today, I love to get outside to run in the woods. When you have the opportunity to get outside in nature, it just adds a whole new different aspect to it, a whole new dimension. The fact that it rains here so much makes it so much more greener.
In my eyes, he is a hero for what he's been through and how he's come out of it. It's fantastic. His attitude is so positive. He doesn't feel a victim.
We actually spend a lot more time together as a family, and that's made a huge difference even in itself.
Oh, miss.
There's something very special, I think, about a relationship between a father and his daughters.
Paul's daughters are the joy of his life. He was grateful to be there to send his 17-year-old Jade off to her first formal.
That would have been something I would have missed. How bad would that have been? Things that were going through my mind on that particular day was just how my little girl didn't look so little anymore.
When he walked her out to the car, it was great. It really was.
If I hadn't have made it and I hadn't have come home, I would have missed everything. I would have missed this whole journey. Also, the building of the relationships with my family, all of the fun times.
Paul's story of survival and resilience really inspired me, and I wanted to meet him. Since Paul's from Ireland and I'm from the U.S., we decided to meet in international waters off the coast of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Paul?
Mr. Phillips, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You too. It's a real pleasure. Bill has always been an inspiration. I feel so blessed to have actually had this opportunity to spend some time with him, to actually see him in the flesh, just being himself. He's just an awesome guy.
Home in Ireland, Paul's discovered his inner rock star. He's back in a band for the first time in 25 years, and he's having a blast on stage.
I feel incredibly blessed in my life by the experiences that I've had, by the family that I have. As bad as it may have seemed going through it, it's brought me to this point mentally, emotionally, and physically. In every respect, it's touched our lives for the better. I just appreciate every moment that I have. I feel incredibly blessed.